So I wanted to run through a Clay workflow that's helped us land one of our recruitment clients nearly $30,000 or $40,000 actually in deals. So this is really, really simple. Well, I say simple in the sense that we're literally just reaching out to people that have open jobs. But I want to run you through like the step by step of what it actually looks like. So cool. So we've got our Clay table here, and nothing major here. Because we've got such a large table, we're only using Prospeo. If we have a smaller lead list, we have a smaller table. We'll use a waterfall then. But if we're using, a massive list, and we've got a massive TAM to get through, then we can just use something like Prospeo to be able to find the emails. And then the great thing about Prospeo is they only push out valid emails as long as you don't select the catch-all thing. So these are all valid, and we've never had higher than like I think 1.5% bounce rate with it. So yeah, cool. So what this was for was hiring sales roles. So this was account executive, SDRs, things like that. So it's a very, very crowded space, right? Very crowded space. So what we did, and I'll show you what the workflow looks like. So first things first, the email, what that actually looks like is essentially we're saying, hey, I see that you're hiring job role, right? So we need to find the job role, and we need to not just find the job role, we need to normalize that. So that's number one. Then what we're doing is we're saying, I can see from your description that you're looking for XYZ, all right? And in XYZ, that's where we actually use Clayagent to find the job description and what they're looking for specifically from the experience. And then we also normalize the location. So we say, you're hiring SDR in, and then London, for example. And this is actually across the US and the UK, but we split it up into two. And then we just filter out for between US or UK, basically. And then we have one campaign running for UK, one campaign running for the US. And for some reason, I think there's a lot of duplicates in here for some reason. But if you keep going down, eventually there are a whole bunch of leads that get actually added in. But this initial part of the list was not... you can see that it could not add lead, etc. But it did start adding leads later on. So I'm going to just walk you through it real quick. And before I do, I just wanted to just run through like how you actually get this initial list in the first place. So there's a few ways of going about it. And one of the most difficult things with Clay, especially if you're pulling the data from LinkedIn jobs, one of the most difficult things is removing recruiters. So what you want to do is, if I go over to new table and you click here and you go table, this is pretty cool actually. So there's a couple ways that you could do this. Number one, you could start with find companies and you build your account list. And then once you've got your account list of, you want to look for companies that are between 50 and 500 employees that are in the tech sector and so on and so forth. Once you've done that, then you can go to find jobs. And I wouldn't actually do the integration where you can add enrichment. So I wouldn't do it like this. You can go add enrichment, job openings, etc. Because that will use credit. So what I actually do instead is I end up doing. Let's see. So you can go here, find jobs, and then you can actually connect it and link it to a specific Clay table. So you could link that to the company Clay table, and then you could obviously put in the job titles that you're looking for, the location, and so on and so forth. And then, within the last 30 days, I normally do, and that's what I've done here. But that's one way of doing it. And then after that, you can obviously find people from that find jobs. But another way that you can do this, which I found actually works a little bit better, is you can just start off with find jobs, and then obviously you put in your find jobs and everything like that. And then once you've found jobs, you can just go to find people. And then this might be a feature actually in the more of the, like if you get the pro plan with Clay, but you can go to find people, and basically you're able to segment your, here I'll show you, plus table, not find jobs, sorry, find people, and you can select a Clay table, so you can connect that to the job Clay table. So once you've built your open job roles, people are hiring for sales, account executives, etc. within certain countries, you're going to get a whole bunch of recruiters in that list. So the way that you filter out, and what you do is you would then connect the find people to that table, and then once you connected that, go to company attributes. But again, I think this may only be on I don't know which plan it is on exactly in Clay, but this is super useful. So you can actually then filter out and create a people list by filtering. So what I would normally do here is I would exclude like recruiting, recruiter, recruitment, etc., all that kind of stuff. And then I would also exclude like staffing, just anything that is to do with recruitment or anything that's to do like not to do with the list that you're going for. And then you can also filter it by, the size and everything. So yeah, and you can do usual job title search and everything. So that's how I got the list. I basically found open job roles, and then I built a table of that. That was about 50,000 across the US and the UK. And then I came into here and found people. And then with find people, I can then filter the size of the companies and then exclude recruitment companies. So what I was initially doing was using AI and Clayagent to basically decipher if in the description this was from a recruitment company or not. And it ended up just costing a whole bunch of money. So this is a way around it that you can do, which was useful to learn. So once you've got this table and this is imported into here, then what we need to do for the copy is, I'm just going to start with everything here, but obviously we don't want to run any AI on anyone that doesn't have a valid email address. So we just create a conditional formula in here and we just say, only run if valid. Now, the reason why I've done location, and this is just more like a just tiny little extra, you don't actually really need to do this, but so you're hiring in location just helps be more specific with the person that you're reaching out to about where the job is. I'll actually show you the prompts. So using the input, I'd like you to normalize the location. That means writing the location. Sorry, I've got a cat here. Excuse the cat. This means writing location how it normally read by a human, if not a city. Then output the country, capitalize the first letter of the city, remove any extra non-necessary words, only output the location. And then I gave it loads of examples. So one thing that you really want to do is you want to start giving it lots and lots of examples. And you just come over to here, add example, choose a row, and then connect it with one of the rows. So I don't know, let's just say 877 as an example, save. And then it says job location, and then you can put that as the US, right? It's just one example, but you can see here there's loads and loads, like the UK, London, etc. Right? I'm going to save that. And for something like this, actually, as well, I think what we're using is GPT 3.5. So you don't need to use GPT 4, much cheaper. So that's how we'll normalize the location, and what we're actually connecting it to, and what's the actual input. I'll show you. Is here we go. So job location. So we can pull that information from here, and we can see, we've got the location. That's the job location. We've got the job title. That's the job title. Like of the open role, and then we've got the actual like job link, basically. Cool. So then once we've we pulled that information, the next thing we want to do is we want to find basically the description. What is in the description? Like, what is the description saying? So what I would do is I come into here and I go using the input from the LinkedIn job post, create a 3 bullet point summary of no more than 30 words, pick 3 points from the summary and create 3 bullet points of the job requirements. Use the points that talk about hard skills over soft skills. Soft skills are things like communication and so on. Ignore those. Only focus on hard skills and experience requirements needed for the job from the description. Find the job skills required to go and go to about the role section and go to see more. There you will find job experiences and skill requirements. Output a short 30-word summary and 3 bullet points of the experience requirements the job is looking for. Do not output anything else. You want to really just give it like that guardrail. Now this, you are going to need GPT-4, so it will be a lot more expensive, but we found it works really, really well. And like I said, we've helped our client, I think, generate about nearly $40,000 worth of business from it. So, and contracts. So and that was in less than a month. So it works really well. And then, again, obviously conditional formula, only run it if the email is valid. But you can see here, for example, it'll then start to output, and it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. And depending on how perfect you want it to be, obviously you can do iterations, you can play around with the prompts, you can do all that kind of stuff. But you can see here 6+ years of high-level sales experience, proficient with Microsoft Office and CRM, clear understanding of the clinical development process and related services. So the way that we would do this email, and I won't actually show you the specific email, but I'll just outline what it looks like. So you're hiring for this position in this country. based on the description, I can see that you're looking for 0.123. So we'll use that 0.123. And then after 0.123, then we say we've got candidates that match that. Would you like to speak to them? Right. So that's basically how we do it. So yeah, once we've done that, then we'll normalize the job title. So basically, sometimes LinkedIn puts in a bunch of extra stuff in the job title. So we just normalize this and make sure that it's like easy to read. So we'll say, so you're hiring a director, business development coordinator, account executive, etc. And then we will just decipher if this job is in the US or the UK, and then it will go to either US campaign or UK campaign. And that's pretty much it. It'll get pushed into the leads here, pushed into Smart Lead here, either the UK or US. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll share the link of the template link below in the description. And other than that, I'll see you in the next one.